Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. I've had a YouTube channel now for just over 11 years. Lots and lots of videos. And over that time, I have accumulated a lot of gear. I have not kept all my gear, but all of my stoves, for the most part, I have kept, and I have all of them. Well, I had all of them except for one. Let me explain. Around 8 or 9 years ago, as far as I could tell, I had a Jetboil Mighty Mo upright canister stove, and I used it for a while and I enjoyed it. At that point, it was one of the earlier stoves that I reviewed, and I was bartering, and I decided to trade it for another product. I don't even remember what it was, but there was somebody on YouTube. At that time, I was trying to get my hands on more stuff to review. My channel wasn't as big as it is now, which it's still not very big, but it creates enough income for me to buy products and I don't have to worry about bartering. And I always kind of regretted getting rid of that Jetboil Mighty Mo. I finally decided it was time to do something about it. I have an old video on the Mighty Mo. It wasn't a very good video, so we're going to check it out again. I bought a new Mighty Mo to re-add to my collection. Let me show you guys what it's all about. All right, this is the Jetboil Mighty Mo upright canister stove. Comes with the actual stove. Also comes with a fuel stabilizer. You know, just to make it different, it's got 4 legs instead of 3, which is what normally comes on all these. I don't ever use these fuel stabilizers. I mean, the way it works is you just pop this on here and it stabilizes your fuel. I don't use it. It's handy to have if you need it. I tend to usually not need it, but it does come with it, which is nice. And it locks into place pretty well just like that. The actual stove itself, you can see it right here. Dimensions are 4.1 by 3.75 when it's packed like this. The weight is 3.36 ounces or 98 grams. They call it a precision cook system because it has a regulator. You open the legs up just like this. And there is your Jetboil Mighty Mo. If you want to put it on top of a canister, very simple. You just screw it right on. Always releases a little bit of gas, most of these do. And there is your Jetboil Mighty Mo. Power is 10,000 BTU, which is pretty darn impressive. Fuels isobutane costs $64.99, so a little bit more than some of the similar stoves like this out there. As far as features go, it claims a rolling boil of 1 liter in roughly 3 minutes, and it claims half of the fuel consumption of a, quote, traditional system. I don't know exactly what that means from the standpoint of a traditional system, but anyway. It says it has a 4-turn regulator control. So basically that means that when you're turning it, you have 4 full turns of adjustability. We're going to check that out here in 1 second. It does have a built-in piezo igniter. It's designed to work with Jetboil flux ring type pots. Has a pretty nice little carrying case, like I said. I think the cost is reasonable. We're going to do 2 boil tests. We're going to do a traditional 2-cup boil test as well as a 1-liter test because they kind of push that 1 liter situation. We're going to see how long it takes to boil and how much fuel is used. Now I'm going to dim the lights here. There we go. And we're going to turn this bad boy on, and we're going to talk about that system as far as the number of turns. We'll turn it on. All right, it is fully on, as you can see. All right, I went ahead and turned off the lights. This thing is super powerful, 10,000 BTU. It is fully going right there. So let's see. And first start to get it going down. So we're going to do 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. I'll call that a 4-turn. Let's try it the other way. We're going to get it all the way down without turning it off. I think that's probably about as low as we can go. So we'll do 1 turn, a little bit faster, another turn, definitely a little bit faster. Oh, it's latched onto that There we go. It was caught on that piezo igniter. So there we go. Never seen that before. See something new every day. 1 turn, 2 turns. It's catching it again. 3 turns. Still can go more. 4 turns. 5, 6. Woo! Pretty cool. Now, I don't think that they're talking about full, 360-degree turns. We'll do that one more time. I think if we go farther, we're going to cut it off. So we're going to call it 1 right there. 1 turn, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I love these stoves. These things are so cool. All right, let's boil some water. So the 2-cup boil test was impressive, guys. This is a minute 30 seconds. That is super fast. Now, it used a little more gas than I'm used to. It used 8 grams of fuel. Pretty impressive as well. 2 minutes, 27 seconds for the 1 liter. Now, it wasn't quite a liter. I used my Fire Maple ramen pot, which has a max capacity of a liter. You could see where it kind of boiled over. So it wasn't quite a liter. It was pretty darn close though. It was a liter until it wasn't a liter when it spilled out all over the... Anyway, 2 minutes, 27 seconds and 11 grams of fuel, which is pretty impressive. When you think of Jetboil, you think of the Flash system or the Minimo or their new Trail Cook system. They're all-in-one compact fold-down stove systems. And you don't really think of the Mighty Mo, which is more comparable to the MSR Pocket Rocket 2 or the Soto Windmaster, some great stoves out there. If you want information, by the way, on any of these stoves, I have reviews on all of them. I'll try to remember to leave links down in the description. If not, you can just search on my channel, but I've got a review on pretty much everything. Even the new Jetboil Trail Cook, which, I don't know, my video on that may be out, it may not. I don't ever have a real clear vision as to what I'm going to release when, so if it's not out, it's coming out soon. I've done pretty much all the Jetboil systems. How about that for a boil time though, guys? I mean, minute 30 seconds for 2 cups. That's pretty impressive. That is right there with some of these other much more expensive kind of long-standing stoves, but it does use quite a bit more fuel. Let's talk pros and cons for this product. As far as pros go, the weight is very good. It's a compact size. It folds down very nicely. Comes with a pretty nice little padded type carrying case. It's very powerful and it has a push button ignition, that piezo igniter. That really helps when you're out on trail, not having to fumble with trying to get a lighter or anything like that. Of course, there are always cons. Even though I like the carrying case from the standpoint of it being a little bit padded, it would be better if it was a hard plastic case. I don't know why companies don't listen, but hard plastic cases are the way to go. Now, it's also fairly expensive when it comes to this type of stove. I do think that it is along the same quality lines of the Soto Windmaster or the Pocket Rocket Deluxe. So I guess you can see where it would be in that genre or that landscape of price. What do you guys think? Now, I like the stove. I don't remember it being this effective. The water here was very cold. It just worked very well. I was surprised with how well it worked, to be honest with you guys. Also, a little surprised about the fuel consumption. When I have something like this that I'm not quite sure of, I always do a second test, and I did do a second test, and it was exactly the same. It boiled just as fast, but it did use a lot of fuel. So the Jetboil Mighty Mo is something that is super strong. It boils water really fast, which is what Jetboils always do, but it does use a little more fuel than we would like to see. But it shows you that the Jetboil name is not just about fuel systems or these compact systems. You can get a very nice upright canister stove from this company. What do you guys think? Do you have experience with this particular stove? Have you used it compared to other stoves? Make sure you leave comments down below and let me know what you think. We all learn and we all gather our experience together to get as much out of these products as we possibly can. Do me a favor, guys, if you like the video, hit the subscription button down below, hit the thumbs up. Those things really help spread things across YouTube, and those comments and that interaction with the channel really helps as well. Make sure you check out my stove review playlist. I've got hundreds of stoves, literally hundreds of stoves, not just the high-priced stoves from Jetboil and MSR, but lots of budget stoves from Amazon, AliExpress, all the different types of stoves that you could ask for. Make sure you check that playlist down below. As always, guys, I appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos soon.